I don't even know how I'm gonna edit this. I think I might just leave it all in and make you guys watch the sunset with me.
There are some days in life that just feel perfect. The best weather.
It's a perfect 65 degrees too, no sun.
Solitude.
This is really quiet and peaceful. Everyone went home.
The perfect mood.
On a salt flat all by myself. This is my happy place.
And everything just feels right.
I'm spoiled.
Today was one of those days for me. Taking a drive down one of the more manageable dirt roads in Death Valley, you are met with a strange man-made sight.
These things are weird.
Remember how I told you about the mining that took place here in Death Valley? Well, there's more evidence of that. There are 10 Wild Rose charcoal kilns which stand side by side and are around 25 feet tall. These structures were built in 1877 by the Modoc Consolidated Mining Company and were used to make charcoal to smelt silver ore found in the surrounding mines. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know much about smelting or kilns, as I never worked in mining or smelting industries. I know, shocking, but here it goes. So charcoal is used to smelt ores in order to extract the metals and take out impurities. Charcoal was used back then because it burned hotter and longer than wood. And the higher carbon content burned off the oxygen, which aided in the purifying process. The kilns were used to make charcoal, used for the smelters. Wood was harvested from the surrounding area in the mountains and brought to the kilns to produce charcoal, which was then shipped to the mines. There's evidence that the kilns were most active from 1877 to 1879, and possibly up until the 1900s. But as mining died down or transportation of charcoal became difficult, they found other ways to produce the fuel that was used, abandoning these 10 structures you see before us today. They also have excellent acoustics.
It smells weird. Echo! Echo! Hello! Pretty fun echo in here. Echo! La 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 la. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Man, what a looker. It's so beautiful. I know it's dirty, but it's beautiful. It is really weird the temperature differences throughout the park. The kilns were up in the mountains, thousands of feet above sea level, making it quite chilly. And then as you descend down the mountain and into the valley, it becomes significantly warmer. This is due to air pressure. Higher altitudes have lower air pressure because the gas expands when it rises, making the air molecules more spread out, and as a result, they bump into each other less than they do at sea level, where the air molecules are more densely packed together. All the molecules bouncing off of each other more frequently creates friction, which produces heat, which is why it is warmer at sea level. This has been the Weather Report with Angie on Tour on YouTube. Now back to you, Geologist Angie. Now there are some days where you just don't feel like getting out of the car and hiking to see all the beautiful sights. This brings us to our next location, Artist Palette.
This is pretty colorful. I just don't know if I want to stop and get out to look at the colors when I could drive through and look at the colors. I'm tired, but very pretty. Very pretty. Kind of crazy, actually.
This is a one-way scenic drive that takes you off of the main road and up close with some of the most colorful mountains I have ever seen on this 9-mile loop. The sides of the mountains contain a rainbow of colors, including blue, red, orange, pink, and green. How does this coloration happen? Well, this is the result of volcanic deposits, which are rich in different compounds like iron and chlorite. The composition and oxidation of these compounds is what creates the variation of colors that we see today. This was a perfect place to spend some time before sunset. There are multiple pull-off areas where you can get out and hike among the colors, or simply sit and admire the views. Even if you just stay in your car and drive through, you will get to experience the true colors of Death Valley.
This was actually pretty neat. You should definitely come do the drive. You don't have to get out, you just drive through. Is it bad that I'm more interested in the salt flats than the colors? I like the salt.
Our next stop is a familiar scene for anyone who saw the Bonneville Salt Flats video. And I'm sorry, I still don't have an answer as to why I love salt flats so much, and just want to walk all over them for hours and hours and hours. But here we are again. But this salt flat is unique because it is actually below sea level. Welcome to Badwater Basin, one of the few places in the park that actually has water, and got its name from yet another observational comment from early explorers. Some guy back in the day was riding through Death Valley on his mule when he was relieved to find some water, finally. But the mule refused to drink the water, so the guy said, "This is bad water." And the name stuck. Great story, huh? Really, it was just because of the concentration of salts in the water that made it undrinkable for the mule. Badwater Basin is the lowest point in North America, at 282 feet below sea level, which is mind-boggling to think about. Anyways, these salt flats should not be driven on like the ones in Utah, because the basin contains a very fragile ecosystem that needs to be protected. But it can be explored on foot, and it's an excellent place to watch the sunset or stargaze because there's no light pollution at this location.
Is it just me, or do salt flats seem like super romantic? They're all open and mountains surrounding. They got the white reflecting light everywhere. I don't know, just saying. Seems like a perfect place for a proposal. I thought I saw somebody get down on their knee. That's what spurred the thought.
I walked a ways out on the salt flats and decided to sit and patiently await the sunset. Little did I know, as I was sitting there, that I was in for the best sunset I have ever seen in my entire life. I enjoy looking back at these moments throughout my travels. The moment before I saw something that would change my life. I just look so clueless sitting there. It's always funny to me.
Do you guys see how big the moon is? That's going to be insane later. I'm way too excited about this.
Part of the appeal of Death Valley is the fact that there isn't service anywhere I went in the park. A majority of my travels in the evenings involve researching where I'm going to go next and planning for the future. But without the internet, I was able to completely slow down at night because I had no other choice.
This is unreal. I don't even know where to photograph. The whole sky is pink.
You don't realize how much being connected does affect your mind until all of a sudden it's completely gone, and you are left with a stillness and a silence that is quite liberating. The pressures of the world melt away, and all you have is what's right in front of you. All that matters is the moment, and nothing else. The nights here in Death Valley I spent journaling, stargazing, and walking, which looks completely different from the other nights I spend on the road. Sometimes you get caught up in going and doing that you forget to truly slow down and enjoy what you did this all for. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. Your mind starts running ahead of you, and you have to remind yourself constantly to stay present. Death Valley was truly a place of respite for me. Don't get me wrong, I always enjoy the places I explore, but there is really something different about this valley. Sitting on the salt that night, I felt as if the sunset was just for me. Selfish? I know. But it somehow felt as if someone was telling me I was supposed to be here right now in this moment. And I felt peace as I was given the most beautiful gift, dancing before my eyes.
This isn't real. What is happening? Well, I guess I could die now. Man. This is insane. But seriously, what do you do after this moment? I'm in shock.
Also, this night solidified my obsession with salt flats, and now it is a goal of mine to see them all.
This is definitely in the top 5 of the coolest things that have ever happened to me. So, it's still going.
Thank you for watching the sunset with me. Remember to subscribe to follow along for part 3.